I was so scared of a sewing machine when I first started, and I just didn't want to learn how to sew. But all this is just self-taught, you know, watching YouTube, watching other cosplayers that have been doing it for years and trying to
go YouTube.
My seams aren't straight, but they're holding the, you know, the clothes are held together.
Oh no.
It's a process. I'm still in my learning process.
You gotta invest in glue.
Yeah, but glue doesn't hold up long term. I have sensory overload. I have to, like, even when I had my own panel or whatever, not my own panel, my own booth, and I had guests coming up to see me, I had to sit back a little bit, take a break in between, because being on is what I call on or whatever. Like, my brain is just constantly going to just make sure that I'm not, you know, triggered or not responding like a normal human being. You need a break from that. And I feel like, because not only the fact that I have an invisible illness, the fact that it has gotten so much better than what it was, people assume that I am healed. And I feel like in my own mind, I am not disabled enough for the disabled community, but I'm not well enough for the able community. So I kind of feel like I'm lost in space in a place of just, you know, yeah. So that's where I am with that.
When you say you're better, do you think like you develop a better tolerance, or do you think kind of maybe like I wouldn't call it luck based, or maybe like a healthier state, like your body kind of just changed where you can just take in more? Like, what do you think happened?
I've put in a lot of work. I've done a lot of, like, listening to what I was recommended, like, as far as, like, books wise, and, like, just reworking my mindset. I've able to progress with, like, physical therapy to exercise to fitness, which I enjoy and it helps me. And I'm just up for the idea of, like, not triggering myself, but, like, challenging myself to things that I would normally not be able to do. And I've been able to hit goals and make progress and work with my body and what I need versus working against it. There's not ableism in the disabled community, but I've gotten comments, you know, from people, oh, we have it worse, or how are you disabled, which has refrained me from even talking about my disability. And then I feel like I'm not being true to myself. Like, it's just a constant battle back and forth. But yeah, or they weigh in because on what mobility aid I use is what makes me disabled. It's like, I'm not disabled because I'm using so it doesn't matter if I'm using my cane, my chair, or nothing. Like, that's not what makes me disabled. My disability is what makes me disabled. And people kind of tie that in together and be like, oh, well, we've seen this or we've seen that. Or it's like, that's not what makes me disabled, though. Like, I don't know. It annoys me.
Like, when you put the costumes on, do you ever kind of forget that you're disabled?
No, because if I'm making content or whatever, that my disability symptoms remind me that I'm disabled. Like I was saying with making content, you just get frustrated because it's like, oh, if I had more help, or if I can just get up and do it myself and just then yeah. No.
Yeah, you're just like screaming inside. You're just like,
yeah, and then you can't sit there and be like an asshole and be like, yo, you fuck, or like, can you just understand where I'm coming? Like, can you see because you got to be appreciative that they're helping you. But
I know it's such a hard place to be in.
Yeah,
like you have a vision, like they're not executing it, and they're just
more reasons as to why I feel like I can't fit in with anybody, because people are like, oh my god, you work out 5 days a week, there's no way you're disabled. When I started off, I could barely do freaking 3 minutes on the elliptical because of my POTS was so bad. I had to build up a tolerance with, like, exercises I was giving at physical therapy, going through physical therapy, because I had 2 bad shoulders. So it's been 3 years of build up to where I am right now. It wasn't something I accomplished overnight, but yeah, there's a lot of exercises that I can't do or are more difficult for me to do. There are days where my symptoms are heavy and I can't work out, but I've just been finding ways to work around the obstacles. I just don't, because I know what it was like when I started off, and I don't want people to think that I'm coming off that if you guys work out 7 days a week and eat right, that you guys are going to be on the road of health. Like, I don't want to be like send that message, but everybody has to work at their own pace with what works for them, and this is just what I've been working with.
Hello, welcome to my podcast, To My Fun Joe Suits. I am Joe Suits. I'll be giving my to Alicia, or E, or not T. She is dealing with POTS and functional neurological disorder. She is also a really good and committed cosplayer. You can see her in a wheelchair for long distances and using a cane for support and short distances. When you become a different character, do you feel more powerful?
Definitely. Any character that takes me outside of my everyday situation definitely makes me feel powerful.
So Alicia like a boring person, and as soon as you put something on, you become a different person?
No, I don't think I'm like a boring person, and I need I need the cosplay to make me this superhero person. I just feel like it gives me more confidence.
No, I mean, that's pretty fair to say. I mean, I don't do cosplay, but like when I put like a nice gold watch on and like a nice shirt on, I kind of feel more, badass.
Right.
Hey, I'm here and just doing this kind of thing. But like you take it a step further, like not only do you do the clothes, but you even do makeup, and like I love the contacts you shoot, and it's like, it like creeps me out a little bit, but it's also very like,
thank you.
Like I don't want to look away either. I don't know, like it's just weird. Like, I want to keep watching what you're doing, Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, it's cool to do. So like, how much money have you like invested in like cosplay? Because I kind of know it can get really cheap, but it can get very expensive like the more into you get something is.
It's definitely like something where you can start off small. That's what I did. I started off very small with closet cosplays, and I kind of just worked the clothes I already had in my closet and made it very similar to the character, and slowly made money off doing that, and then obviously I put it right back into it, and then just grew like that. Yeah,
so like, well, I guess the question is, are you just being yourself and do whatever you like, or do you kind of like cater to an audience? Because I know you did like Mortal Kombat. Like, I'm not super familiar with it, so you're gonna have to help me here.
Mm-hmm.
I know you have like Mortal Kombat and you have like other characters, so like, is it characters that you always want to like resemble, or are you kind of doing like fan favorites? Like, how do you choose
I mean, for the most part, I do a lot of characters that I want to do. I have done characters that fans have requested, but they weren't necessarily characters that I would have been against doing. Like, I don't think there was somebody that I wouldn't want to do that I've done.
It seems something like a lot of fun. I think just playing dress up, I would think it's a lot of fun, and like just setting up and stuff.
It's work. It's a lot of work too. I mean, the process alone, getting into makeup, making the outfit, if I'm making the outfit versus already buying it or whatever, it's a process. And it's a lot, obviously, with someone who has to take breaks in between and like split the days up with content, because you can't shoot it all in one day, and then that means you're getting into the character twice.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it's not easy.
Like, I can like, do you ever like dress up and then for like an hour and then just like undress again? Because it seems like one of those, like, you don't want to be like in the green makeup like the whole day, I guess. Like, you just,
the green makeup takes a bit of time, so I don't want to be in it all day, but if that's what it takes to make the content and get it done, just so I don't have to redo, especially the body paint. Like, I hate doing that for the next day. Redo that and then have to do it. Yeah, it's more worth it just sucking it up and just pushing through and then flaring the next day. But
No, I mean, I can understand how that's like, like when I do like filming, like I do filming outside, I try to do the most videos I can. Like I'll bring like different outfits, because like well, I don't know. I think your camera is pretty set up, so you don't have to do anything. But like setting up the camera is work, and setting the microphone and the angle, and it's
yeah,
such a bitch to do.
right.
That like no matter how much work you put into like the setup of it, it's kind of ugly, and you don't want it like out. Like you want to put it away. Like tripod take like a shit ton of space.
Mm-hmm.
So like you want to take the most of it as you can when it's all set up. Yeah, it's a bitch just to put it away and like make sure. Like, have you ever did something where like you recorded with something, but like the microphone didn't work?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I've done that for like YouTube videos, and I've like hated my whole life. I'm like,
I
no.
know it's
And there's nothing you could do.
yeah. I ran that shit so many times that I got so annoyed by it. But like the two options I have is like, what do I do? Like, do I just refilm it, or do I? One video that I did, I was a wedding day, and like I can't redo a whole fucking wedding.
Right.
So what I did is I made it a silent film. So I did like I would talk, and then I'll have like a silent film be like you talk, and then there'll be like a screen of like what they're saying.
Right.
So that's what I did. Just
That's a good way
I
to
can't.
still use the content.
Oh yeah, I had to. I couldn't be like, guys, like, can we just like try to get married again, please, and try to be happy and
Yeah.
all that. And no, and yeah, I try to be creative with it too. I mean, I also like apologize in the video, like, hey, my microphone like died, like, please forgive me and like watch my video because it's really good. But yeah, it's like you gotta get creative with it.
Yeah.
But like there are some videos where like if I talk for like 8 minutes, there's no way I can just do that. I have to like refilm it. It's annoying to do the whole camera setup again and shit.
Yeah.
Ah,
Right.
like, but the final result is usually good. The other thing that I hate also if I didn't zoom in enough. Sometimes I don't zoom in enough,
Mm-hmm.
and like you don't want it to zoom in post because then it gets a little grainy.
Right.
But like sometimes you have to. But that's also an annoying thing to do.
It's work.
Okay. Yeah, it is a lot of work. I can imagine how much worse for you though when you're doing makeup. You feel like you say it takes so much time to do it, and then all of a sudden, it's nothing filmed. You're like, fuck. Like, that, I'm thinking it takes like 2 hours for you to just get dressed, right?
Right. If not more, depending on what type of makeup I'm doing or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I also know like you had like a U-Haul video of like I think from Fashion Nova,
Right.
and you were like just wearing things, and like not only you buy it, but like you also have to alter it to fit you, or like it,
Yeah.
or like change it up a little bit, and that also requires a lot of work. So that do you have any like clothing, like tailoring experience, or are you kind of learning along the way of cosplay? I feel like a lot of cosplayers kind of know how to sew and shit.
I was so scared of a sewing machine when I first started, and I just didn't want to learn how to sew. But all this is just self-taught, watching YouTube, watching other cosplayers that have been doing it for years, and
Yeah,
trying
go
to.
YouTube.
My seams aren't straight, but they're holding the clothes are held together.
Oh no.
It's a process. I'm still in my
You
learning process.
You gotta invest in glue.
Yeah, but glue doesn't hold up long term.
Well, you gotta sew and then glue just for the extra protection.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't think of that.
Like I'll recommend like a glue that I use for my project, bigger project I'm working on. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, some people do. You could also, since I'm working with clothing for a secret project, I also do Velcro.
Mm-hmm.
And you can like sew in Velcro, and then you can glue the Velcro for double thing, and then you can just Velcro it together, so you don't have to sew it. But I don't know how well that's gonna work since most of your characters like you're really moving and shit.
Right.
And the last thing you want is to have like a wardrobe malfunction in the middle of Comic-Con or something.
Yeah, I don't need that.
Celeste? since we're talking about Comic-Con, so like, how did the connection between disability and Comic-Con come to be?
What do you mean?
Well, you had a panel where you were
Oh,
talking about disability at Comic-Con,
I got in.
or a, yeah.
I got invited by a fellow cosplayer, and he actually hosted the panel and asked if I wanted to be a part of it. There was no way I was going to host a panel by myself. Um, it was fun. It was nice to be in a room full of people that kind of understood what it was like, especially to be at the con and be disabled. And yeah, it was nice. It was nice.
So was it like a specifically a disabled like event to talk about disability, or is it more like did you talk like what did you guys talk about? Like did you talk about disability, or did you talk about more of like accessibility and like difficulty like getting clothes on and like getting around and such?
It was a little bit of, I'd say, everything. We kind of spoke each about our own stories and how
Hmm.
we started cosplaying, and then even the audience would share some stories that they had on their experience. We shared things about accessibility at cons. Yeah, it was kind of all sorts of things that we got to cover in that panel.
Yeah, I mean it was just cool to kind of see from such a big event. I don't know. Like I've been to Comic-Con one time, but I was really young, so I don't know now. Like all you think of is like nerds and stuff, and like like people that are like maybe not socially like aware sometimes. So like cool that they accepted disability people. Like at bad as it seemed kind of like a very welcoming group of people. Like you can be like the best cosplayer on the planet, or like the shittiest cosplayer, and like they still like accept you and like still like want you to come and have fun, and like they'll make it seem like you have the best, even though you probably invested like $1 into your outfit.
No, yeah. I mean, I do feel sometimes like the cosplay community is less judgmental and more accepting. So I do see your
Hmm.
point there. But as far as like your cosplay, and yeah, I mean, we all got to start somewhere, and even those that are fully invested or have a little bit more money to spend, like they had to start somewhere too. Like you don't come out the womb learning how to do this.
Yeah, I'm just kind of surprised that people like can afford anything, because like it doesn't seem like an event that you can make money off it. It's more to show off what you are, like, or maybe like the one day a year where you can pretend to be someone else and no one like look at you differently. Like if you dress as your character on the streets of like New York, okay, maybe on the street of New York they wouldn't look at you as weird, but like it'd be like, why is he in a costume where it's like 80 degrees out, you know?
Yeah.
Like why is he like not like why is he wearing like white contacts and a green, I don't even know what you call it, like costume? Nah, I don't even know. But like yeah, it's such a weird thing. I mean, I also kind of have a phobia of like people covering their faces and like weird faces.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Uh huh.
Like I don't like if you're covering mask like for like COVID, it didn't really pick me out as much. But like people that wear like full face mask and such and like cover their face like freak me out for some reason. Like I had to see like a face
Okay.
to be more comfortable. I don't know, something about it. And so like I'm deathly afraid of mascots for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And anything like bigger than me, like really now like if it's a human size bigger, that's okay. But like if it's a cosplay kind of thing, it kind of freaks me out. I
Okay.
don't know like what's wrong with me in that sense, but like, I always had like that weird. I think like the hidden identity part is what freaks me out, because I have to see like who you are as a person, you know?
No, I can understand that because being in a place like the Comic Con where it's busy and there's a lot of people there, and like you said, they could be covered in a mask or like a big cosplay hiding. You know, I mean they have what do you call it, metal detectors, and they pat you down or whatever, but it's still. It does cross my mind as to like who could be under that costume, or what are people hiding in the larger costumes. So I
Yeah, I
understand.
kind of feel like you, like we were talking about like earlier in the interview that like you feel like a different person, and I feel like if you're hiding your identity, you can get away with more things, and I think that would kind of equals it. Like people will be like I never been to cosplays, I don't know like, but like I'm just afraid more people could do mischievous things, but at the same time, I kind of think most people don't want to. I think they're just there to have a good time
Right.
and just like show off their costume and like take pictures. So. I don't want to speak from ignorance about it, but yeah, I just have that. I think it's just kind of a New York thing that I have to be like aware of like people around me, and if I don't see their face, yeah, it freaks me out because
Yeah.
what am I to say? Oh, like this Ash Ketchum guy like try to steal my iPhone, and there's like 100 Ash Ketchums in the crowd. Like, what am I gonna do? I can't separate them.
Right. 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 No, I get where you're coming from.
I mean, have you ever had any bad experiences at Comic Con, or it's mostly positive for you?
I had uh make like a couple that, but they weren't horrible, but I had somebody like holding their phone so close to me recording me, and I was so like in my phone that I was unaware of it, and the people I was with have to let me know like, did you want to take a picture with her? You know, they kind of stepped in and wanted to let me
Hmm.
know that I was being recorded, and I had no idea, so that made me feel a little violated. But I think that was the
Hmm.
worst one.
That doesn't seem too bad in the grand scheme of things, actually.
Yeah. I mean, if you
Uh,
think about it.
but like, how does Comic-Con affect your neurological? Because I know you're, like, I was just looking up online at all the symptoms, and it seems to be a huge list of it, and not everyone has the same thing. So, like, what are your symptoms that you have to be aware of?
The lights, I have sensory overload. I have to like, even when I had my own panel or whatever, not my own panel, my own booth, and I had guests
Hmm.
coming up to see me. I had to sit back a little bit, take a break in between, because being on is what I call on or whatever. Uh, like
Hmm.
my brain is just constantly going to just make sure that I'm not, you know, triggered or not responding like a normal human being. That you
Yeah,
need a break from that. I'd say the sensory overload. It's a lot. There's a lot going on,
I mean,
and I'm sure that's what's going to happen for the fashion show too. So at least I'm getting a
yeah, I
little
mean,
practice in.
kind of perfect practice for you because, yeah, I mean, I think also at the same, like, I don't know, like, who you're surrounded with, so I think your surrounding kind of makes a good environment because, like, someone, let's say you just shut down, someone can, like, step in for you and be like, hey, just, like, give her a break or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like, I can understand, like, it might be hard to, like, be like, hey, like, please back away, like, nicely, though, because not everyone can understand this, though. And they just think, like, oh, you're in a booth, like, you want to get a picture taken, and, like, you're there for a reason, but, like, not everyone can understand, especially since you have, like, an invisible illness, like,
And that's what
you
makes it
cannot just
harder.
handle it.
The
Yeah.
they've and I feel like, because not only the fact that I have an invisible illness, the fact that it has gotten so much better than what it was, people assume that I am healed. And I feel like in my own
Hmm.
mind, I am not disabled enough for the disabled community, but I'm not well enough for the able community. So I kind of feel like I'm lost in space in a place of just, you know, um, yeah. So that's where I am with that.
When you say you're better, do you think, like, you develop a better tolerance, or do you think kind of maybe like I wouldn't call it luck based, or maybe like a healthier state, like your body kind of just changed where you can just take in more? Like, what do you think happened?
I've put in a lot of work. I've done a lot of like listening to what I was recommended, like as far as like books wise, and like just reworking my mindset. I've able to progress with like physical therapy to exercise to fitness, which I enjoy and it helps me. And I'm just up for the idea of like not triggering myself, but like challenging myself to things that I would
Mm.
normally not be able to do. And I've been able to hit goals and make progress and work with my body and what I need versus working against it. I don't know. There's like no golden cure or whatever. I just and there's still a lot that I want to do that I'm still working towards, but I just feel like because of that, I don't know. There's not ableism in the disabled community, but I've gotten comments, from people, oh, we have it worse, or how are you disabled, which has refrained me from even talking about my disability. And then I feel like I'm not being true to myself. Like it's just a constant battle back and forth. But
You really have nothing to prove. Like, I believe you. I mean, it would be shitty if you were lying about your disability. Like, I don't think you would want to lie, especially something like neurological, because it does affect you. Like, I know you have a wheelchair that you use. Like, will you be using a wheelchair at the runway?
I think so. I think it's going to be the safest option because of the flashing and stuff. And if I was to try with my cane, I would either drop if I was triggered and it was, or just not be able to walk at all and just be stuck in the middle of the runway. But I think it's the safest option, and I think that's what I'm going to go with.
Okay. Okay. I think there was some people that would be in, like, your something mobile where you need a wheelchair but you can still like walk and stuff. So like I think I've seen people like like put the wheelchair to like wherever they start stand and then they stand and then
Oh,
walk.
ambulatory
And like
wheelchair
that,
user?
yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
That's the word. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
you can do that. I mean,
a lot of people
yeah. Okay.
don't understand that, and it sucks.
I'm kind of you're not the first person to say that. I see like other people do it, and I'm kind of am, but really not because I can't walk by myself. I need someone to help me, and I'm physically disabled, so it's kind of like easy for me to just prove that I'm disabled. So like I can't say that much, but yeah, I just surprised like a lot of people are like,
Yeah, or they weigh in because on what mobility aid I use is what makes me disabled. It's like I'm not disabled because I'm using so it doesn't matter if I'm using my cane, my chair, or nothing. Like that's not what makes me disabled. My disability is what makes me disabled, and people kind of tie that in together and be like, oh, well, we've seen this or we've seen that, or it's like that's not what makes me disabled though. Like I don't know, it annoys me.
yeah, I totally get you. It's just crazy to me that like people in the public will like say something like that is insane. Like someone would say like, well, why are you like I can understand like people are like here, they're like, why are you using a wheelchair and stuff, I get it. But it seems like when people post about it, it seems more of like a place of hostility of like, I just saw you like walking, like why are you using a wheelchair now? I'm just like kind of crazy like you would just say something to someone like that.
Yeah.
That didn't really affect you in any way, and like 10 minutes after like our interaction, like we'll never talk again. It's like, is that like necessary? You have to say something.
Right.
It's crazy. Like I don't know. Like people just have to learn how to shut the fuck up.
Exactly. If only I could say that in a nicer way, though.
You can say it. You can say shut the fuck up. I mean,
Yeah.
You can put them in their place.
Right.
Like, I'll give you permission to do it. I got your back.
Yeah. I'll send them to
you got
you
the
if they
whole-
have any problems.
There you go. You can just like, I don't know, you can just create like a gif of you like in your costume or some shit and be like, I have like 10 more characters like behind my back, like, fuck off, like,
Yeah.
don't mess with me, you know? Like, yeah, you can, I don't know, you can just create a gif of like some badass move. I don't know the characters, I don't know like what their finishing moves look like. Like, I know Mortal Kombat had like finishing moves, so like, I guess you can do a finishing move. I don't know. I'm trying to brainstorm here. So since we're talking about characters, like, what is your favorite character? Like, what do you resemble the most?
That I resemble the most? I don't think I really resemble much of my characters. I like the ones that I like, my favorite ones, like Sindel or Rogue. I don't really resemble them much, but I enjoy cosplaying them.
I mean, that's a fair answer. think you kind of want to choose people that are not you, and so you can be like a different, you get to bring a different like guest flair to yourself,
Hmm.
and just I think this, I mean, it's cool. Like I never do costume like except like Halloween, but like I don't know, I think it's cool. I remember when I went to the Comic Con and bought contacts. And I had it for like 5 years, and I can't do contacts. Like couldn't physically put it in. It was like neon blue, and I think they're so cool, but like it sucks that I couldn't do them because you like I don't know, changing your eye color is really cool to do.
It is
It
cool.
like it like changes so much about you. Like I don't know, it's just like people look at you differently. Like you can wear like a full face mask, full face anything, and it'll be okay. But like the moment your eye color change, it's totally different. I don't know. There's something about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's something that captivates you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the whole look. It completes the look.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to you for being dedicated to the whole thing. I know contacts are not cheap at all. They're pretty expensive.
Yeah. I have more cosplay crap outfits than I do real clothes because I really don't go out anywhere. Like
Huh.
I don't do like I'd rather spend my money on a cosplay outfit or cosplay material than buy fancy clothes or fancy shoes. Like that doesn't catch my interest.
So like you go to Dunkin' Donuts in your costume on a normal Tuesday.
No, 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 not like that. It's not that bad. I do have regular clothes. It's just far and few between than what I have. I have more cosplay outfits.
Oh, that's totally fun. Like you have your cosplay outfits, and I have my, Gucci shoes. Like we just have a different
Yeah,
style of how we want to dress ourselves.
yeah.
It, it's just, I guess it's just a little weird when like, do you ever have a problem like you don't know what outfits to pick because, like women usually have like a closet full of, co- like outfits. So like, do you ever have trouble picking something out, or whatever you're feeling that day?
No, I usually like honestly, I usually wear a lot of the same stuff. Like I've had clothes that I've had for oh my god, this is so embarrassing. But yeah, I've had clothes for like years and I normally like right now if you've seen the pants that I have on, they're my cosplay building pants. They're covered in paint and everything. Like I just yeah, I don't really leave my house, so there's no reason for me to like dress up.
Okay, I see you. Like you have your priorities straight. I can't blame you for that. So like when you put the costumes on, do you ever kind of forget that you're disabled?
No, because
You don't get like,
if I'm making content or whatever that my disability symptoms remind me that I'm disabled.
oh, oh, okay. I was expecting a different answer, but I guess I don't know how you feel. So, but yeah, I mean that's super understandable.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
I mean,
I don't know. Some people,
and during content making, and like back to the part of it being so much work and how frustrating it is. Like I know while I'm in it, and I'm just like, that's one of my battles in my mind. Like, so it's hard for me to forget my disability. Like, oh, if I was normal, if I was, able to do this, I'd be able to do this so much faster. I could get so much more content. No, there's no way for me to forget. It's a constant reminder.
well, I guess a good question would be, like, let's say you weren't disabled, would you still be into cosplay?
That's a good question. Um, because I did go to cons before, like, all the changes started happening, but I probably would have been still doing my dental assisting job and wouldn't have had I guess, the guts or the time to try something like going into cosplay. I love seeing the cosplayers at the cons. I just didn't think it was something I could do or never mind having the time for.
Yeah, because disability kind of forces you to do other things or like go down different paths.
Right.
And also, well, there's always like two kind of like conflicting points I have in my mind. It's like, would would I be the same person if I didn't have the disability? Like, would I still be doing the same path? Like, I don't think I'd be interviewing like disability people and such, but like, would I be a like, let's say, a video content creator? Like, will I still be on the same path? Like, will so I be on YouTube, for example? You know,
Mm-hmm.
would I be a host? Will I be in something like similar, similar path, but a little bit differently? Or does sometimes disability forces you to be go down a totally different path that's and now more like not able to move as much and stuff. So like filming is such a good platform because you don't really have to move much. Like yes, you have to set up the camera and yours is a lot more complicated because you have the cosplay aspect to it, and that can adjust and that can be tiring. But like you're able to do it at home. Like you can take your time to do it. Like you mentioned before, you can take breaks and such, and
Right.
like and such that really helps a lot with your case because you need breaks or you would just like I don't know, like just being in a fetal position in the shower, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so yeah, always it's always curious to like would I be the same person without my disability? Because like I think I would still be like a internet celebrity of sorts, but like I think I would definitely be more like outdoors and more maybe action stuff. I'm just kind of stuck to this disability world. Like I don't want to talk crap about the disability world. Like I think I'm just forced into it, and it's like some. I just have the most experience here, so like I doubt you would want to talk to a person that doesn't know what a disability really person is at all,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a random regular Joe. I guess like you wouldn't have the same. I don't even know if you would say yes unless I like talk like, hey, I'm a Comic Con host, but like I don't think you would say yes just to a random person, you know. So like I don't know. Like do you yeah, so it's always interesting to see like what would you be doing if you weren't disabled at all? Like what do you think you'd be doing?
Definitely still being a dental assistant.
Yeah.
I wanted to go like fin- towards dental school and become a dentist, so probably on that path somewhere. Just something
Okay.
totally different. Not necessarily boring from what I'm doing now, but like I feel like my disability has like shifted me back into the arts because in high school I was a dancer and a
Okay.
performer and all that. Obviously I can't dance and perform now, but like I'm finding a different way. So I think of it
Something to release your creative side.
right. So I try to think of it as life like kind of shifting my path and making it, even though I wanted to be a dentist and I enjoyed dental assisting, maybe life said no, we have other plans.
And have you ever cosplayed to be a dentist?
No, no, not yet.
You totally should though. Like you should like embrace your what you want it to be. You can be I'm sure there's some dental or something out there that you could do.
Yeah, yeah.
Like don't let your dream die. Like go and do it. Like like that like she had beloved to say, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah,
Don't let your dream go.
right.
Yeah, you should definitely be yeah, you should definitely be a serial dentist person. You need like the drill and like blood in your mouth and shit. You could do it. Let's see.
Yeah, maybe something for
Hey,
Halloween.
if you it could be. I mean, what's cool about cosplay? You can kind of be any character you want. You can just make a character, and I think that'd be a huge hit for you. And like, if you do, I better get the credit because this is my idea.
Dental cosplay, dentist cosplay.
Yeah, I mean, don't be a boring one. Be like a cool serial something.
Yeah,
Do something with blood because blood, I think, is really cool.
yeah.
Like my audience did not react well to blood, and it sucks. Guys, I had like some bloody photos that I took, and I did not get as many likes as I wanted to do, and that really sucks. Like, like when Doja Cat does it, like she gets like millions of likes,
Uh huh.
and then when I did it, it was like I think I was just too extreme for people, and it's like sucks that I couldn't like get the same reaction I wanted to, and but at the end of the day, I'm just kind of doing me.
Right, right.
Like not cosplaying, but like I like doing stuff with my body. So like every birthday, I like do something with my body. So my first birthday, that I started a tradition. I body painted myself,
Mm-hmm.
geometric signs. I like did a music video called somebody that I used to know, and they um painted themselves. So I did it from that, and then the second year was blood, and the friend that I was with, she didn't really like the idea of blood, and she was like being a trooper and trying to go with it, but I wanted to be covered in like a bucket full of blood,
Uh-huh.
but like we ran out of time to do that. So like I kind of want to revisit that in maybe a different setting. Like I want to be like covered in blood and shit, and
Yeah.
like murdered. I don't know. I think it was a lot of fun. Like once you get into that, I'm a very like creative person, so like once I get into that mode of it, like there's so many things, some, there's so many like shots that I want to do, one like things I want to do. Okay, like kind of with like the cosplay, it takes like a long time to like I had to make the blood and put it on me, so that takes a while, and it essentially it wasn't bad to take a shower, but like you have to clean yourself. So like
Yeah.
if I'm
And then
I make
sometimes you have
one
to clean the
shot,
shower or clean the well, like I mean,
that is too, yeah, we were worried about putting it on the floor, so we had like the
yeah,
painter's blanket on it.
yeah,
But yeah, it was like it's such a bitch to set all of this up, so you might as well just do everything you can in one shot. Get like get like I know it's a lot to act now to do the blood, but like you don't want to do it again. So like I did everything, but like I'm not happy with it. So I'm just kind of waiting for like a different person to do it with, and just do that. Because what sucks about me that I need someone else to help me with a lot of things,
right,
and like a lot of people don't have that creative spirit that I have,
yeah,
and like that boldness of it, and that really sucks for me because I feel like I am I feel like I'm chained down and I don't want to be chained down, and I feel bad for being chained down, but like I also have to respect other people's and like what their comfort levels is, but it really just upsets me,
yes,
and I can't like be mad at anyone or anything, and that really sucks.
right. I can. I mean, it's not exactly the same, but there's times where I like there's content I want to make that I need a lot of help with, or the person that I have helped me, they have like no, not really an artistic vision, so I either have to let them know step by step, like, you know, this is it,
Mm-hmm.
this is what you're looking for, blah blah blah, because I know there's not going to be like, oh, you know, much anything extra than what I feed it. Like they're basically like a tripod, and yeah, it is frustrating because you do feel like you're chained down.
Yeah, like
You're
there's
limited
this thing as
because you and
yeah,
like I was saying with making content, you just get frustrated because it's like, oh, if I had more help, or if I can just get up and do it myself and just then it, yeah, no,
yeah, there's just like screaming inside, there's just like
yeah, and then you can't
like
sit there and be like an asshole and be like, yo, you fuck, or like, can you just understand where I'm coming? Like, can you see the because they're you got to be appreciative
yeah.
that they're helping you, but
I know it's such a hard place to be in.
yeah,
Like you want like you have a vision, but like they're not executing it, and they're just kind of like I don't like. Do you look at your photos while you're shooting?
yeah, yeah,
I don't look at my photos. I just, 'cause most of the time I don't really have time to look at my photos. I just kind of like to keep taking photos as many times you can. Cause like once you're in like the mood of things, like in the groove of things, like you want to keep it going, and like got music going, and
yeah.
you know like you want to keep it
No,
going. But
yeah,
like I don't, I like have trust them that hopefully that if they're taking 50 shots, at least like two of the shots will be like decent, you know, and like just yeah. But yeah, I don't look at my shots. I just kind of pray that one or
no,
two
I
of the
panic
shots.
the whole time. I'm like, we take at least like 15 shots, and then I gotta look because the last thing I want to do is take all the shots we finish and they were blurry.
Oh, that did happen, but I only happened like the first 10 photo. The only thing I don't like either is that the screen is so small that some you really can't see like any. Sometimes it looks good when you look on the camera
Uh
screen,
huh.
but like when you look on your monitor, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
damn it, like should have zoomed in a little more
Yeah.
and ugh. It's horrible.
Right. So that's why you gotta
Like,
look. You gotta check them because then you get out of your outfit or like you, the blood, and then you see the pictures and it's like, oh my god, I wasted all this time and
yeah, and there's like no going back either.
right.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever just thought, like, I know, like, I watch your videos and you always have, like, someone with you. Do you ever just thought of just shooting your photos yourself? Like, just get, like, a remote in your hand to snaps photos? Or do you always like to have a second person with you?
No, there's times where it's just me. But obviously, the ones where you can get other people to help you are nice because no matter how you rework the tripod and press the button, like you can't get those good angles. Like, you know, like the
Yeah,
fun
I
angles,
feel
especially with cosplay, you got to get like the action angles, and you can't really get that with a
you.
tripod. It's more like,
Yeah. No, I feel like, yeah, I think you have a much more, you have a lot, you have a much more challenging presence about it. You have to be, like, up close and, like, but are you also good with photo editing? Because not only you need a good camera and like angle, but it's also the editing that can make or break a photo too. So are you good at editing, or do you need someone with that?
no, I'm good at editing because when I was doing dental assisting, I was doing photography on the side. Like I shot weddings, I done quinceañeras, like
Okay.
newborn photos. Like I did the whole, like that was my little side hustle. So I kind of taken what I've learned from that. I mean, it's different with action photos and stuff like that. So I got to pick up a few things off YouTube again. But yeah, I had a foot to stand
Yeah,
on.
yeah. I wish I could photo edit, but I can't for my life because like I look at other people's photos and I'll be like, that looks really good, and when I try to do it, it just looks like shit. And like I don't know if it's like a me criticizing my own work. I feel like I'm decent with myself. Like I'm not like super hard on myself, but like I'm not super not hard on myself either. That's what she said. But
Oh my God. Love that. Love that.
yeah. But like so like I don't know. But like there's something like I can't Photoshop to save my life. Like the most I'll do is like a filter, and it's not good. Like I have a really like this camera that you see right now is like a $2,000 camera. And it takes really good photos and like the photo editing can take it to the next level. But I just can't fucking do it. And I'm really frustrated about it because I feel like I'm almost wasting the camera's value of it because the editing what makes it I can like when I see a photo I can like I know it could look better. I know what I need to do to make it look better, but like when I go down like looking at YouTube videos and like doing a little slider to it, it just doesn't come out the way I envisioned it and gets me so frustrated that like I have to just shoot it. I have to just go from whatever the camera sees, maybe adjust a little bit, and then put it on Instagram because I can't fucking do it for my life. But I also don't want to pay like the $5, $10 for someone to edit my video because I don't want to spend money on that. I don't want to spend more money than I have to anymore.
Right.
You know, so I'm like in that frustrating part. Well, yeah, like I'm frustrated. I can't photo edit to save my life. I can video edit really fine, but I can't do the color part of it. Because sometimes the color grading and for photos and video
Uh huh.
really can step you up to the next level.
Right.
I'm hoping that you have good light, good lighting, and good white balance and all that shit. Because there are times that if you like go to my earlier videos, I totally fucked up the lighting and shit.
Again, we
And
all
then
have to start somewhere and just keep
no, I mean
practicing.
yeah, I mean I'm proud where I came from now, and you gotta learn, but it's like it's so embarrassing to look back. It's
Oh
like
yeah,
you can tell like
definitely. It always
you
is.
got two different light sources, and one is overpowering the other one, and it's too bright, and it's like you gotta lower the exposure a little bit. But like we all know, like when you look back, when you look at like a bit video and it's too overexposed, like you're fucked. Like there's nothing you can do to save it,
Right. Right.
and it's the most frustrating thing on the planet. No, yeah. Are you familiar with any disabled characters in like any universe, I guess?
I'm trying to think. I know that there was one in the new Spider-Verse movie. I haven't seen that movie yet, so that's why I'm like not even sure what the
Wait,
characters.
there is?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. I know the character who I think voices her or came up with like the idea of the character for the movie is disabled.
Oh, well, that doesn't really count. I'm talking about like there are any specific characters that are disabled that like kind of like just in the any verse any world. I mean, there's so many worlds out there, kind of. Like there's the Marvel world, there's like the DC world, like that's like the two largest ones, I think. No, and then do the other characters live in their own world too? Like the Mortal Kombat, for example, live in their own world, and then like
Maybe.
are they?
I mean, I don't know. I never really like Marvel world, DC world, but I don't know. Mortal Kombat, like each fandom or each character has their own world. I never thought of it that
Yeah.
way.
That's just kind of I just thought of it because they're never, they're never like Superman and like a Marvel movie. That'd be almost. I don't know. I don't know. If it would be on. Actually, it would be pretty fair. Um, yeah, there was never a movie with both worlds in it. I think maybe there was like a cameo or some shit, but it was never like together, or it'd feel like this. Like when we were younger and we would have like cartoons,
Uh huh.
like they would have their own world, and there'd be like that one episode where like they like combine together,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you're like, holy shit, it's like the best thing on the planet. Like,
Yeah.
why do they, why don't they do it more?
Right. I think that's more of like obviously, like with Marvel and DC, that's more of a them thing. Like I don't see them being, willing to work together. That's like McDonald's and Burger King, stuff like that. They live in their own world. They need to be separate.
Hmm? Well, I do know that I actually met someone that had multiple sclerosis. That's also another invisible disease, and she's been working on with Marvel, and they have a disability character. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. In the Spider-Verse,
It what
the new the
is it? Do you, well, the one I'm thinking of is Dark Hawk,
oh okay.
so I don't think it's in
No,
that
no, no,
movie
no,
though.
no.
I'm not. I really don't know honestly, but I do know that she was working with Marvel on that, and they heard this dark. It's called Dark Hawk. Dark Hawk.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I have multiple sclerosis. But the only thing that I'm kind of like, I want to say like I'm accepting myself as a disabled person, but I'm not really accepted of the disabled community because for one, it's so large and like you can't like love a whole group of people. I'm more like individualistic person.
Mhm.
Like I'll even like you, but not like everyone because some people are just like lame or boring or like not cool people
Mhm.
or like douchey, whatever reason, or lazy or whatever. There could be other reasons. And being disabled doesn't mean you have to like a person, but like I must have like it's cool to see disabled people in different mediums. I didn't know they could be a superhero though because like the last person I want to come rescue me is like someone. Wait, are you familiar with multiple sclerosis, for example?
Like a little bit here and there, yeah.
Well, like, I mean, it doesn't really matter about that disease. It could be like any disease. Like, why would I want to be rescued by a superhero that had a disability? Like, what? Like, let's say you're a superhero and you have to rescue me out of like a burning building. Like, do you think you can climb 5 flights of stairs? Like, I don't think so, right?
But if they were able to do it and have the disability, like you don't know what stage they are, yeah, I'd like that. It wouldn't bother me none.
I would be like, I just feel like they would be like the Achilles heel to themselves. Like, what if they, like, what if they get to me and they'd be like, I gotta take a break here. Like, I need to, like, what if they have pots and like
Hey, I
they
have
come to my
pots.
room and I know, like, imagine like you come to my room and you rescue me and then like you come to my room and you're like, I have to go on the floor and put my legs up in the air to find me because I need, like, and the house is burning down. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna be like. Just sit there with you and wait,
Hey,
Like,
if I'm your only option, you better sit there and wait. You ain't going anywhere.
yeah, but it would be like I don't, like, I'm okay with disabled people, but like if it's like a situation where like I need saving, and like your disability like in the way is like like we might as well just like die together, like play I don't know like play Mario Kart because we're not coming out of this alive.
No, I get
Well, if
it.
I can't do it.
Like
Yeah, it's
in the realistic mindset of, things, you'd want the most ablest body to come help you with,
yeah.
you'd feel more secure and less worried about if you guys are going to make it out alive.
Yeah, like imagine like Superman is like he's supposed to be really strong. Imagine he wasn't strong, like he couldn't lift me up. And I'm like, you're not Superman. You're just like on Superman. Like I'm gonna call somebody else for help. Like
Right.
you need to get like a new job here. Like this is not the job for you. Like
But you got to let him
I don't know who.
you got to let him show his qualities and what he has to offer versus just seeing him and being like, "Yo, I have this disability," and then you judge whether he can help you or not.
Well, in that situation, if he can't like lift me up, then I feel like I don't know how he got the job. I don't know if he lied on his resume. I don't know if he paid off if he knew the hiring person. Like I don't know, but like this isn't working. Like I'm gonna go to hell. Like either I'm gonna see you in hell or heaven or like
Oh my
God
god.
better have a talk with you or some shit. Like gotta this isn't working here. Like I'm gonna give you a bad Yelp review. Like like I'm sorry, but like dying on a job it's not something I wanted to do. Like what my tax money
Oh
going
my
towards. Like
gosh.
what is happening here? Like no, it isn't working. Like I know it's like ableist as fuck to think about that, but like realistically, you kind of don't. Like I want to live here. I don't
No,
want to.
I get it.
I no, I get it too. Yeah, I don't know. Just I'm a base of it, but I'm also like, did we hit like a ceiling in a way? Like there's so much any person can do. Like there are the limitations, and I don't know. It's just difficult to like do it. Like if you can do it, awesome. But if you can't, like I don't want you to be put in that position to do it. And
Mhm.
it kind of makes me. I know like you might feel bad about it, but it also makes me feel to make you feel bad. And I don't want to be in that situation either. And I just feel like I don't know. I don't want to feel like a huge asshole about it. Like we were talking
No,
about
I
earlier.
mean, I get where you're coming from, but I think it's like that with any job. I mean, there's a lot of people that are put in positions that they shouldn't have that job, like nurses or like doctors. I'm sorry, that's the first thing I come up with because of like, obviously.
Or like presidents, I guess, at
I
this point.
mean, I wasn't going there, but I'm just saying, like, like, I guess it's all a matter of letting people prove themselves or show what they have to offer. That's all. That's it.
Okay. So yes, I have one last question for you. So, if for the audience that's listening and watching, so he is in like phenomenal shape. Like you have like a six pack at this point, and so, but like the thing is also you've talked about you need a lot of breaks and stuff to like, how are you able to be in phenomenal shape but also needing a lot of breaks because it doesn't seem to be a good match at all.
I know more reasons as to why I feel like I can't fit in with anybody because people are like, oh my god, you work out 5 days a week. There's no way you're disabled. When I started off, I could barely do freaking 3 minutes on the elliptical because of my POTS was so bad. I had to build up a tolerance with like exercises I was giving at physical therapy, going through physical therapy because I had two bad shoulders. So it's been 3 years of build up to where I am right now. It wasn't something I accomplished overnight, but yeah, there's a lot of exercises that I can't do or are more difficult for me to do. There are days where my symptoms are heavy and I can't work out, but I've just been finding ways to work around the obstacles.
Speaking of being on the floor and putting your legs up in the air to like to deal with your pot, could you do those exercises where you use your legs like you're on your back and use your legs up in that part of the pot that is you can't do any exercise and you have to let the body like reset, if that makes sense?
I usually do that more to like reset, not as a exercise.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious about it. So, like, do you think you slowly exercising, is it that you're building tolerance for your body? Or, like, do you think maybe you're just becoming a better mental health space that, like, your body doesn't become as much of a drag for you because you're in a better place? Like, do you, it's like when you study about POTS and like learning about you, it seems I don't know if that's strange the way, but like it's kind of crazy that like your body would be like not great, but then like be better over time, but you just working out, and it's like it's crazy how the body works, you know?
Yeah, with POTS, like there was like this program that they had came up with to like build a tolerance. Basically, my physical therapist was trying to like get me to build a strength in my legs to keep the blood upwards to obviously help with the POTS and the dizziness and all the symptoms that come
Mm-hmm.
with that. So I feel like, yeah, just being able to strengthen my body and my mind has definitely helped everything to like come together a little better.
Yeah, well, the other question is that like your medicine intake, because I dealt with all the people that had POTS and they have tons of drugs that they have to like stay on just to like be okay. So like, had your drug take fluctuated over the years, or like, or would like the working out kind of like your last resort to help you out? Or, like, how did you approach that medium? I guess
Um,
a healthy medium.
that I we got to a point with my pot doctor where we like tried saline, we tried the salt tabs. I still do salt tabs. I still like wear compression stockings. There's like I said, I have to take breaks, so it's not like I don't know. There's just been adjustments that I just didn't want. I had a lot of medical trauma, and I just didn't want to deal with that. Like them continuously just
Mm-hmm.
trying because that's what we did. We did like trying different things, and I just wanted to do nothing because I feel like nothing. They weren't anything they were giving me wasn't helping anyways. So
Okay.
yeah, and that's pretty much what they told me. Like you have to find ways to live around it and work with it and drink as much water and eat salt, and that's yeah, there's no cure.
So is it safe to say you're not in medicine now and just working out has done wonders for you?
I wouldn't say like wonders, but I
But or
I
let's just
just
say it helped you
yes, it's
become
helped.
more active.
Yeah, it's helped me become more active. It's helped me build my stamina. It's yes. I just don't because I know what it was like when I started off, and I don't want people to think that I'm coming off that. If you guys work out 7 days a week and eat right, that you guys are gonna be on the road of health. Like I don't want to be like send that message, but everybody has to work at their own pace with what works for them, and this is just what I've been working with.
No, I mean, I'm glad you were able to find something that has helped you. Like, I know it can be a very individualistic disease to just find whatever works for you. I know some do a lot of drugs, some do not. Some are working out and great.